friends, and welcome to another episode of Whispering Wikipedia. Now today we are reading about the Chihuahua dog, in brackets. I hope that you enjoy this Whispering Wikipedia. Now, please, if you could, leave a comment and tell me what you think of the reading, or comment what you would like me to read about in the future, as this series, Whispering Wikipedia, is done via reader suggestion. And so I hope that you like it. Please remember, I can't pronounce scientific names or terminology. And let's commence this reading. And please remember to leave a like on this video, so I know that I should keep doing this type of content. Okay. The Chihuahua is the smallest breed of dog and is named after the Mexican state of Chihuahua. Interesting. Let's go into its history. The Chihuahua's history is convoluted, and many theories surrounding the origin of the breed. Both folklore and archaeological finds show that the breed has origin in Mexico. The most common theory is that the Chihuahua is descended from the Techichi, a common companion dog favoured by the Toltec civilization in Mexico. No records of the Techichi are available before the 9th century, although dog pots from Colima, Mexico, buried as part of the Western Mexico shaft tomb tradition, which date back to 300 BC, are thought to depict Techichis. The earlier ancestors probably had been present before the Mayas, as dogs approximating the Chihuahua are found in materials from the Great Pyramid of Cholula, antedating 1530, and in the ruins of Chichen Itza on the Yucatan Peninsula. However, a genetic study indicating that there was less than 2% pre-European mitochondrial DNA in modern Chihuahuas due to admixture with the European dogs. In a 1520 letter, Hernan Cortes wrote that the Aztecs raised and sold little dogs as food. Colonial records refer to small, nearly hairless dogs at the beginning of the 19th century, one of which claims 16th century conquistadors found them plentiful in the region later known as Chihuahua. Small dogs, such as Chihuahuas, were also used as living heating pads during illness or injury. Interesting, what the heck? Some believe that this practice is where the idea of pain being transferred to animals from humans originated, which gave way to rituals such as burning the deceased with live dogs, such as the Techichi, to exonerate the deceased human's sins. That's a bit messed up. Chihuahuas, as we know them today, remained a rarity until the early 20th century. The American Kennel Club did not register a Chihuahua until 1904. Now let's talk about their appearance. Chihuahuas are the smallest breed recognized by some kennel clubs. There are two varieties recognized by the AKC and the UK Kennel Club: the smooth coat, smooth-haired, and the long coat, long-haired. The UK Kennel Club considers the two to be as distinct breeds. Mating between the two are not eligible for KC registration. The AKC considers long and smooth-coated Chihuahuas to be the same breed. Typically, the breed standard for both the long and smooth-coated Chihuahuas will be identical except for the description of the coat. Both with the smooth and the long coats have their special attractions and are equally easy to keep clean and well groomed. The term smooth coat does not mean that the hair is necessarily smooth, as the hair can range from having a velvet touch to a whiskery feel. Long-haired Chihuahuas are actually smooth to the touch, having soft, fine guard hairs and a downy undercoat, which gives them their fluffy appearance. Unlike many long-hair breeds, long-haired Chihuahuas require no trimming and minimal grooming. Contrary to popular belief, the long-hair breed also typically sheds less than its short-haired counterpart. Interesting. Up to 3 or more years may be needed before a full long-haired coat develops. Current breed standards defined by registries such as the AKC specify an apple head or apple dome skull conformation. Chihuahuas have large round eyes and large erect ears set in high, dramatically rounded skull. The stop is well defined, forming a near 90-degree angle where the muzzle meets the skull. Breed standards for this top do not generally specify a height, only a weight and a description of their overall proportions. Generally, the height ranges between 6 and 9 inches, which is 15 to 23 centimeters. However, some dogs grow as tall as 30 to 38 centimeters, which is 12 to 15 inches. Both British and American breed standards state that a Chihuahua must not weigh more than 5.9 pounds, which is 2.7 kilograms, for conformation. Dang, that's really light. However, the British standard also states that a weight of 4 to 6 pounds, which is 1.8 to 2.7 kilograms, is preferred. A clause stating if two dogs are equally good in type, the more diminutive one is preferred, was removed in 2009. Interesting. The Fédération Cyclique Internationale standards call for dogs ideally between 1.5 and 3 kilograms, which is 3.3 and 6.6 pounds. Although smaller ones are acceptable in the show ring. Pet Chihuahuas, that is, those breeds bred or purchased as companions rather than as show dogs, often range above these weights, even about 10 pounds if they have large bone structures or are allowed to become overweight. This does not mean that they are purebred Chihuahuas. They just do not meet the requirements to enter a conformation show. Oversized Chihuahuas are seen in some of the best and worst bloodlines. Chihuahuas do not breed true for size, and puppies from the same litter can mature in drastically different sizes from one another. Also, larger breeding females are less likely to experience dystocia, which is obstructed labour. Many breeders try to breed Chihuahuas as small as possible because those marked as teacup or tiny teacup command higher prices. Chihuahuas occur in virtually any colour combination, from solid to marked or splashed, allowing for colours from solid black to solid white, spotted, sabled, or a variety of other colours and patterns. Colours and patterns can combine and affect each other, resulting in a very high degree of variation. Common colours are fawn, red, cream, chocolate, brown, mixed, white, and black. No colour or pattern is considered more valuable than another. The mere coat pattern which appears mottled is not traditionally considered part of the breed standard. In May of 2007, the Kennel Club decided not to register puppies with this coloration due to the health risks associated with the responsible gene, and in December of that year formally amended its breed standard to disqualify Merle dogs. The Fédération Cyclique Internationale, which represents the major kennel clubs of 84 countries, also disqualified Merle. Other countries' kennel clubs, including Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Germany, have also disqualified Merle. However, in May of 2008, the Chihuahua Club of America voted that Merles would not be disqualified suspect the coloration came about by modern crossbreeding with other dogs and not by genetic drift. Now let's talk about applehead versus deer-head Chihuahuas. It's very hard for me to personally choose, but I think in general I prefer deer-head Chihuahuas, but then again I love all dogs. Dogs of any coat type may be identified as either applehead or deer-head Chihuahuas. Appleheads have rounded heads, close, set eyes, and relatively short ears and legs, and deer-heads have flat-topped heads, more widely set eyes, larger ears, and longer, more slender legs. Deer heads were the breed standard conformation in the mid-20th century, but current breed standards defined by registries such as the AKC specify the applehead conformation. The applehead Chihuahua is known for having a round/apple-shaped head and definite stop, whereas a deer-head Chihuahua may have a flatter head, thinner skull, but is unlikely to have a stop and will probably have a much longer nose. Their physical body shape is largely the same, except the deer-head Chihuahua is known to have longer legs than other Chihuahuas. The deer-head Chihuahua tends to be more larger in weight, where an applehead is more likely to keep their weight under 10 pounds. Applehead Chihuahuas are longer than they are tall and have shorter necks. Deer-head Chihuahuas have longer ears than appleheads, and their head also has a slope-shaped form. Both applehead and deerhead can have short hair or long hair. They also both come in various different colours such as brown, black, tan, or white. Chihuahuas can show traits from both applehead and deerhead. Deerhead Chihuahuas tend to have the better health than appleheads due to their longer noses. There is no scientific evidence that appleheads have a higher risk of getting respiratory issues due to having a smaller airway. Deer-headed Chihuahuas are not allowed in the AKC due to not meeting the standards that appleheads do. Deer-head Chihuahuas are not allowed because they have a longer jawline and a slope that connects their muzzle and head, creating a 45-degree angle instead of a 90-degree angle like the applehead. Appleheads are allowed in the AKC and meet the requirements due to having a smaller weight, having a rounder head, and also having a 90-degree angle formed by the muzzle to the forehead. Now, let's talk about the famous Chihuahua temperament. How a Chihuahua behaves depends on the genetic temperament of their parents and grandparents. Their small size makes them delicate and vulnerable to injuries and attacks from large animals. Like all dogs, they benefit from the appropriate socialization and training. Chihuahuas tend to learn better when being rewarded with positive reinforcement such as a treat or praise. With the proper training a Chihuahua needs, these dogs can be extremely intelligent. The way a dog is trained will influence its behavior. Chihuahuas can be easily frightened or provoked to attack, so are generally unsuitable for homes with small children. The breed tends to be fiercely loyal to one particular person, and in some cases may become overprotective of the person, especially around other people or animals, and tend to have a clannish nature, often preferring the companionship of other Chihuahuas or Chihuahua mixes over other dogs. These traits generally make them unsuitable for households with children who are not patient or calm. Because Chihuahuas get cold easily, they tend to love their dens and will often burrow themselves in pillows, clothes, hampers, and blankets. They are often found under the covers or at the bottom of the bed, deep in the dark and safety of what they perceive as their den. That's really cute. Chihuahuas also enjoy time in sunlight. Chihuahuas sometimes act like cats and climb up the highest point on a couch, usually on top of the pillows, and curl up into a ball. as a disadvantage. Now we move to the health of the Chihuahua. This breed requires expert veterinary attention in areas such as birthing and dental care. Dental care is a must for these small dogs whose jaw size makes for weaker teeth. Although daily brushing provides the best preventative measures, feeding a dental diet or using dental chews for dogs is an effective approach pet owners can take to help prevent and control accumulation of plaque and tartar to avoid consequences of severe periodontal disease. The best physical characteristics of dog food to contribute to cleaning a dog's teeth would be food that is large and dense, so more time is spent chewing, which leads to the surface of the teeth being cleaned. Chihuahuas and other toy breeds can be affected by hydrocephalus. Chihuahua puppies with hydrocephalus have abnormally large head and are lethargic and do not grow at the same pace as their siblings. A true case of hydrocephalus can be diagnosed by a veterinarian, though the prognosis is grim. Apple-head Chihuahuas can have molars, or a soft spot in their skull, and they are the only breed of dog to be born with an incomplete skull. This is not a defect, it is a normal adaptation facilitating the passage through the birth canal and growth and development of the domed type of forehead. This is actually the same thing that humans have. If you don't know anything about, neonatal development or anything like that, we squish out with a very soft skull, and we don't have a fully formed skull. They're actually in multiple pieces when we're a baby, because we come out of a very small opening comparatively, and that's one of the reasons why it takes so long for humans to develop, because the brain is really small and the skull fuses, and that's why there are those distinct lines. If you ever look at an adult skull, there is these distinct kind of zigzaggy lines on the skull, which is where the fuse is, where the plates of this skull are connected together. The molara is predominant in the applehead and is present in nearly all Chihuahua puppies. The molara fills in with age, but great care needs to be taken during the first 6 months until the skull is fully formed. Submolaras do not close completely and require extra care to prevent injuries. Chihuahua puppies can be at risk for hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. Remember, hypo is low and hyper is high. Signs of hypoglycemia include lethargy, sleepiness, uncoordinated walking, unfocused eyes, spasms of the neck muscles or head pulling back or to the side, fainting, and seizures. Hypoglycemia can be avoided with adequate nutrition and frequent feedings, especially for Chihuahuas that are younger, smaller, or leaner. Chihuahua owners should have a simple sugar supplement on hand to use in emergencies, such as Nutri-Cal or corn syrup. These supplements can be rubbed on the gums and roof of the mouth to rapidly raise the blood sugar level. However, as with any dog, owners should take care not to overfeed their Chihuahuas, since obesity can result in increased rates of joint injuries, tracheal collapse, chronic bronchitis, and shortened lifespan. As in other breeds with large protruding eyes, Chihuahuas are prone to eye infections and eye injury. The eyes may water in response to dry air, dust, or airborne allergens. That's definitely a classic thing. If you have ever met or seen any Chihuahuas, it is very common for them to have watering eyes, looking like they're crying. But I guess that, as it says here, is a seemingly normal thing for the breed. Collapsed trachea is a health concern characteristic of the Chihuahua breed. Chihuahuas may tremble or shiver when stressed, excited, or cold. These dogs, especially the short coat variety, are less tolerant of cold than larger breeds and require a sweater/coat and or boots in cold weather. They seek warmth in sunshine, under blankets, or on furniture or human laps. Some Chihuahuas may present separation anxiety as a result of being so close and loyal to their owners. This is a fairly common cause behind any pacing, excessive salivating, destructive chewing or barking, howling or whining in dogs. Many treatments and tips can help prevent separation anxiety in dogs. The lifespan for a Chihuahua is usually between 12 and 20 years. Chihuahuas are also known for Luxating Patella, a genetic condition that can occur in all dogs. In some dogs, the ridges forming the patella groove are not shaped correctly and a shallow groove is created, causing the patella to luxate or slip out of place sideways. The knee cap sliding across the bony ridges of the femur can cause some pain. The affected Chihuahua will hold its leg flexed and foot off the ground until the quadricep muscle relaxes and strengthens, after which the animal feels no discomfort and continues with activity. Chihuahuas are also prone to some heart-related disorders such as heart murmurs and pulmonic stenosis, a condition in which the blood outflow from the heart's right ventricle is obstructed at the pulmonic valve. And there are some interesting looking crossbreeds, but this section of the Wikipedia says it needs additional citations for verification. So if something sounds extremely crazy or outlandish, it's possible it doesn't have a verification. Apart from different types of crossbreeders, breeders across the world started crossbreeding Chihuahuas with other dog breeds in order to create breeds of mixed traits. The result of crossbreeding Chihuahuas with other dog breeds such as Pomeranian dogs, Pembroke Welsh Corgis and Boston Terriers and Pugs, and so on, usually end in a dog breed of a Chihuahua's body size and the other parent's breed, coat colour and fur traits. That's very interesting. These are the most common Chihuahua crossbreeds, and we have a list here and I'll take you through some. Oh, that's cool, it's also got their names. A Chihuahua and Yorkshire Terrier is known as a Chalky. A Chihuahua and a Pug is called a Chug. A Chihuahua and a Bacon Frise is a Chicon, or a Chichon. A Chihuahua and a Boston Terrier is known as a Boston Chihuahua. A Chihuahua and a Pekingese is also known as a Cheek. A Chihuahua and a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is known as a Chilia. A Chihuahua and a Jack Russell is called a Jack Chihuahua. A Chihuahua and a Pomeranian is called a Pomchi. A Chihuahua and a Pembroke Welsh Corgi is called a Chiggy. A Chihuahua and a Poodle is called a Chippoo. That's a very common one, I think. A Chihuahua and a Dachshund is called a Chiweenie. A Chihuahua and a Min Pin, which is a miniature pinscher, also called a Chippin. And a Chihuahua and a Pit Bull / Terrier are called a Chibble or Pithua. Or Pithua. Not sure. Poodles and Bacon Frise dog breeds are often used in crossbreeding because of the hypoallergenic fur. This way, the developed crossbreed might inherit entirely or partially this allergy-friendly trait, which makes it more suitable for individuals that suffer from pet allergies. watching my video.